Let that sink in. No one's coming to hand you a better life. No one's showing up with a magic solution. There is no rescue mission scheduled for you. You're not stranded on an island. You're just stuck in your own indecision. And the longer you wait, the deeper you sink. How long will you sit there, hoping someone else will take responsibility for your dreams? Hoping someone will believe in you more than you believe in yourself? That day will never come, because the truth is, everyone is too busy fighting their own battles. And even if they love you, they can't save you. They can support you, but only you can do the work. Not a job, not an opportunity, not success, not healing, not recognition, not even fairness. You weren't promised a level playing field. You were promised life, and that's all. And what you do with it is 100% on you. You could be born poor. You could be born broken. You could be born with every disadvantage stacked against you. And still you are responsible for where you go from here. That's not cruelty. That's power. The moment you stop expecting something from the world, you start building something within yourself. Look at Oprah Winfrey, born in poverty, abused, ridiculed. But she didn't wait for the world to hand her a throne. She built one with her own pain. Life doesn't pause because you're tired. It doesn't care that you're overwhelmed. Life is a moving train, and if you're not running with it, it's running over you. You either rise or you rot. Those are the only two options. You say you're not ready. No one ever is. You say you've been hurt. So have we all. You say life's unfair, and what are you going to do about it? You can cry. You can scream. But if you stay down, you stay broken. So get up. Get up bruised. Get up angry. Get up even if you're limping. Because if you don't, the world will move on without you, and you will become the dust it forgets. Let me tell you something about comfort. It feels good, but it kills dreams. Comfort whispers, you're okay right where you are. Comfort tells you relax, to slow down, to take it easy. But what it doesn't tell you is that every minute you stay comfortable, you lose momentum. You don't grow in comfort. You don't build muscles in comfort. You don't break records, change lives, or rewrite your story in comfort. Growth lives in discomfort. Progress lives in pressure. Think about a seed in the ground. It doesn't bloom in a soft, cozy environment. It breaks through dirt. It struggles toward the light. It pushes past resistance. That's how greatness is born, not from ease, but from effort. The sooner you own it, the sooner you change it. It's not your fault what happened to you, but it is your responsibility to do something about it. Blame doesn't fix your future. Ownership does. And until you stop pointing fingers at your past, your parents, your circumstances, you will stay locked in place. Own your mistakes, own your habits, own your weaknesses, own it all, because only what you own can be changed. You want power? Then stop saying I can't. Start saying I haven't yet. Stop saying they didn't help me. Start saying I didn't help myself. The minute you take full responsibility is the moment you unlock your full potential. You're not powerless. You're just untrue. You're not broken. You're just buried. And what buries you today can become the very soil that grows something unbreakable tomorrow. If you work, if you fight, if you refuse to stay where you are. So let me say it one more time, and let it echo in your mind every time you want to quit. You look at successful people and whisper, they got lucky. No, they didn't. They got focused. They got obsessed. They outworked the odds. They weren't praying for a break. They were grinding while everyone else was sleeping. You think Kobe Bryant was lucky. The man trained before sunrise. Every single day, you think Elon Musk just stumbled into success. He worked 100-hour weeks when everyone else clocked out. That's not luck. That's relentlessness. Luck is a story losers tell themselves to stay comfortable. Because if success is luck, then it means you don't have to try. But if it's work, if it's effort, then the mirror becomes a damn courtroom. And you don't want to face that judge. You want to talk about balance. Let me be real with you. Balance is earned. You think champions live balanced lives while they're building their legacy. They don't. Balance is a reward for years of imbalance, for years of sacrifice, of saying no to parties, no to comfort, no to... Right now, while you're still building, balance is a luxury you can't afford. It's not time for balance. It's time for battle. You want the life they live, then you have to do the work they did. and that work wasn't balanced. It was brutal. It was obsessive, and that's why it worked. There is no right time. There never has been. Life won't pause for your schedule. It won't wait until you feel ready. You think your dream cares about your mood. It doesn't. You have to show up regardless. People say I'm just waiting for things to settle down. No, that's code for I don't want it bad enough. Because the ones who want it, they make time, they sacrifice, they rearrange their entire life if they have to. Why? Because they know the clock is ticking and tomorrow is not guaranteed. There are people working 2 jobs, raising kids, battling illness, and still chasing their dreams. Why? Because they're not waiting, they're moving. And every excuse you make about time, someone else has crushed it with even less. You ever notice how the people who get lucky are the ones who never stop grinding? That's not luck. That's preparation meeting opportunity. And it doesn't happen in bed. It doesn't happen while you scroll through life on your phone. It happens when you're up before the sun doing the things no one else will do. You want luck? Go out and earn it. Put yourself in uncomfortable rooms. Take risks. Show up when it's inconvenient. That's when the universe pays attention. But sit on your hands, wait for a sign, and all you'll get is silence. Thomas Edison said it best. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. Let me be clear, your excuses sound valid. They sound real, but they are lies, clever lies. Lies your comfort zone sold you. Lies your fear nurtures. Lies disguised as truth. I'm not built for this. Lies, it's just not my time. Lie, I'm too old. Lie, I failed too much. Lie, I don't have support. Lie, because there's someone out there with your exact circumstances, maybe worse, and they're winning, they're building, they're evolving, not because it's easy, but because they refuse to believe the lies. You can't build a powerful life on a foundation of weakness, and excuses are weakness. Tear them down, burn them, replace them with decisions, replace them with action, replace them with truth. And here's the truth. It's not balance. It's not luck. It's not the perfect moment. It's relentless work, repeated daily, fueled by purpose, backed by obsession. That's what builds greatness. And you have that choice, right here, right now. Every time you say I can't, you tighten the chain. Every time you say I'll start tomorrow, you add another link. Every time you blame someone else for where you are, you lock yourself up a little tighter. Excuses are not harmless. They are heavy. They bind you. They paralyze you. And here's the worst part. They sound reasonable. That's what makes them dangerous. They sound like they're protecting you, but they're not. They're imprisoning you. You think you're buying time, but you're really selling your soul piece by piece, dream by dream. Let me ask you, how many opportunities have you missed because you had a reason? How many goals have you buried under not now? How much of your life have you wasted explaining why you couldn't, instead of proving that you could? Yes, you've been hurt. Yes, you've been betrayed, disappointed, crushed. I'm not here to deny your pain. I'm here to remind you, it's not the end. Pain is part of the process. Everyone hurts, everyone bleeds. What separates the winners from the quitters is what they do with it. You think you're the only one going through it. Look around. There are people in hospitals fighting for one more breath, and you're sitting on the couch, complaining about being tired. There are mothers raising 3 kids alone, working double shifts, and still building a business. You think they don't feel pain? They just chose progress anyway. Pain can be your excuse, or it can be your reason, your fire, your fuel. But you have to choose. You have to rise while it hurts. Because if you wait for the pain to go away, so will your chances. Let me break this illusion for you. You're not under-equipped. You're under-committed. There are people who've come from war zones, poverty, abuse, who've built legacies, not because it was easy, but because they made a decision. I will not be a victim. I will not let my story end here. You think you don't have time. There are single parents going to night school, studying in their cars during lunch breaks. You think you don't have resources. There are people who built entire careers with nothing but a borrowed laptop and free Wi-Fi. You think you're too broken. Some people built strength out of shattered pieces. So what's your excuse? Really, what's holding you back that someone else hasn't already overcome? You're not stuck because of your situation. You're stuck because of your standards. You've accepted average. You've made peace with mediocrity. And until you decide that it's not enough, you won't move. You won't even notice it at first. One day missed becomes a skipped workout becomes a lifestyle. A failed attempt becomes a permanent fear, and all of it started with one excuse. Excuses don't just steal your time, they steal your confidence, your self-respect, your potential, and worst of all, they do it quiet. They don't scream when they take something from you, they whisper, "It's okay, you'll try again later." But later becomes never, and never becomes regret. At the end of the day, the scoreboard only shows one thing: what you did, not what you wanted to do, not what you planned to do, not what you explained away. Every minute you waste on an excuse is a minute someone else used to get ahead. While you were justifying, they were executing. While you were hesitating, they were evolving. So ask yourself, do you want the comfort of your excuses or the fire of your result? You can't have both. One builds, the other breaks. One frees, the other enslaves. One changes your life, the other slowly kills it. The choice is yours, and if you're serious about changing your life, start with this. Because nothing will ever change until you do. Your feelings are like the weather, unpredictable, unstable, constantly shifting. One minute you're up, the next you're crashing. You feel excited today? Good. But what about tomorrow when you wake up tired, stressed, and full of doubt? What then? That's where most people fall. They live based on how they feel instead of what they've committed to. They train when they feel like it. They work hard when it's convenient. They move only when inspired. And that's why they fail. Because the real winners don't let feelings make decisions. They let discipline do the talking. Discipline isn't loud, it's not flashy. It doesn't need applause, but it shows up every damn day. That's what makes it powerful. Motivation is great, but it's temporary. You watch a video, hear a speech, get a surge of adrenaline, and for 30 minutes, you're on fire. But what happens when it wears off? When the music stops? When it's dark, cold, and silent, and no one's watching? That's when discipline steps in. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. It's not emotional, it's consistent. And consistency wins every time. Think about David Goggins. The man didn't become a Navy SEAL and ultramarathon runner by chasing motivation. He built a mind of steel by waking up at 4 a.m. and running through pain, rain, and exhaustion. Not because he felt like it, but because he said he would. That's discipline. That's why he wins. Stop waiting to feel ready. You won't. Stop waiting for the perfect mindset, the perfect conditions, the perfect mood. They don't exist. Waiting for readiness is just another form of procrastination dressed up as planning. You're scared? Good. Do it scared. You're unsure? Good. Do it anyway. That's how strength is built, not by avoiding fear but by walking through it. How many dreams have died because someone waited to feel ready? How many people could have changed their life if they just started one day earlier? You want to feel confident? Earn it. Through action, through failure, through persistence. You may not hit a personal record every day. You may not crush every workout, nail every goal, or close every deal. But showing up when you don't want to, that's where the growth is. That's where character is built. You didn't quit today. That's a win. You didn't let your excuses talk louder than your ambition. That's a win. You showed up, even when it was uncomfortable. That's a win. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. About doing the hard thing over and over until it becomes normal. Until showing up becomes who you are, not just something you do. Your mind will scream at you to stop, to rest, to slow down. It will tell you this is too much. You've done enough. No one else is working this hard. Your mind is built for survival, not success. But your legacy, it doesn't care how tired you were. It doesn't care how cold it was. It doesn't care how afraid you felt. It only remembers what you did, what you built, what you became. And that's what lasts. That's what echoes. Not your feelings, but your discipline. So stop waiting to feel right. Stop chasing comfort. Start chasing greatness. Because every time you choose discipline over emotion, you take one more step toward the life you were meant to live. Let me tell you something most people won't. If you want to be great, good is never enough. Talent is not enough. Passion is not enough. Obsession is the price of mastery. If you want to rise above average, you have to live and breathe the thing you want to dominate. People will call you crazy. Let them. People will say you're doing too much. Good. That means you're doing it. The obsessed don't apologize for going all in. They get results while everyone else is busy trying to balance their lives. Michael Jordan wasn't balanced. He was obsessed. Serena Williams didn't casually train. She sacrificed. Steve Jobs didn't tinker. He obsessed over design until it changed the world. You don't rewrite history by fitting in. You do it by going all the way in when no one else will. We all know someone who was gifted, natural athlete, smart in school, talented artist. And where are they now? Stuck, lost, bitter. You know why? Because they relied on what they were born with and never added the grind. Talent is nice, but it's not rare. What's rare is the person who takes that talent and multiplies it with obsession, with discipline, with hard work. Beats talent when talent stops working. Every time. You may not be the most talented. So what? You can be the most consistent. You can be the one who shows up on the days that others quit. You can be the one who refuses to take shortcuts. You're not going to see results tomorrow. That's the truth. You won't wake up next week with your dream body, dream business, dream life. Because greatness is not a leap. It's a grind. Think of every rep, every workout, every study session, every sleepless night as a brick. And every day you lay one down, you're building something no one else can take from you. Some days the brick will be heavy. Some days it'll feel pointless. But keep laying them. Over time you'll turn your discipline into a fortress, your repetition into and one day, people will look at your empire and say you're lucky. But you'll know it wasn't luck. It was bricks. Nobody claps for you because you almost did it. No one gives you a trophy for working really hard with nothing to show. This world doesn't reward effort. It rewards execution. You don't get credit for thinking about going to the gym. You don't get results for planning your dream business. You get results when you do the reps, regardless of how you feel. Stop counting hours. Start counting out. Stop tracking how tired you are. Start tracking how much closer you are to your goal. The market doesn't care about your feelings. The scoreboard doesn't care about your intentions. This isn't about who starts the fastest. It's about who finishes. It's about who can show up day after day in silence, with no praise, no spotlight, just the will to outlast everyone else. You don't need to be special. You need to be relentless. You don't need to have all the answers. You need to outwork everyone who's waiting for them. You don't need validation. You need obsession. Let the world sleep. You grind. Let them doubt. You deliver. Let them rest. You rise. Because in the end, it's not about talent. It's about reps. It's about resilience. It's about refusing to quit. That's how you win. The moment your alarm goes off, you've already started the test. It's not graded on paper. It's not handed out by a teacher. But it's there, waiting. And every decision you make from that first second forward determines whether you pass or fail. Hit snooze. That's the first L of the day. You just told your goals they can wait. Get up and grind. That's the first win. You told your comfort zone, not today. You don't need permission to be great, but you do need commitment. And that commitment starts the second your eyes open. You don't rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the level of your habits. Don't underestimate one decision. One choice has power. Skip the workout. You just lowered your standard. Eat trash food all day. You trained your body to accept mediocrity. Spend the whole afternoon scrolling. You sacrificed your focus for nothing. But the opposite is true too. One hard workout sets the tone. One clean meal shows discipline. 1 hour of focus moves the needle. Every big transformation starts small. One choice, one shift, one move forward. And if you think today doesn't matter, you've already lost. Because the compound effect doesn't care if you're paying attention. It's always working for you or against you. You want success? Cast your vote. You want strength? Cast your vote. You want to become the person you keep pretending to be on social media? Cast your damn vote. How? By showing up. By doing what needs to be done, not what feels good. Every action you take is a ballot cast toward your future. You can vote for weakness or strength, for chaos or control, for growth or stagnation. No, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to win more days than you lose. That's it. Stack enough of those wins and the results become undeniable. Success is not a lightning bolt. It's a pile of votes cast in the dark when no one's watching. Most people glide through life. They coast. They do just enough not to fail, but never enough to stand out. They live on autopilot. Same routine, same excuses, same regrets. But grinding, that's different. Grinding is uncomfortable. It's painful. It's intentional. You push when you don't want to. You work when you're tired.
You choose growth over comfort again and again. You want to glide through life or grind your way to greatness. One path ends in regret. The other ends in results. You decide when the cameras are off, when the crowd is gone, when it's just you and the work. That's when winners are made. Because it's easy to show up when people are watching. It's easy to post your progress, but are you grinding in the silence? Are you passing the test in the dark? Nobody saw Muhammad Ali's early mornings. Nobody saw Kobe's 4 a.m. practices. Nobody sees you either. And that's okay. Because this test isn't about being seen. It's about becoming someone who doesn't need praise to perform. So here's the truth. Today is a test. Tomorrow will be too. And the day after that. You can pass it. You can fail it. But you cannot escape it. So wake up with purpose. Choose with clarity. Act with discipline. And pass the test before the day passes you. You told yourself you were going to start Monday. You didn't. You said you were done wasting time. You weren't. You looked yourself in the mirror and promised no more excuses. And then you made another one. You lied to you, not to your boss, not to your friends, not to your family, to you. And let me tell you something. There's no deeper betrayal than the one you commit against your own word.
So now what? What are you going to do about it? You can't go back and undo it, but you can choose not to repeat it. You can stop being the person who makes promises and starts breaking them the moment things get hard. Stand in front of a mirror and say your goals out loud. Then ask yourself, have I earned them? Have I lived like they matter? That reflection isn't fooled. It doesn't care about your stories, your reasoning, or your long list of but you don't understand. The mirror reflects what is, not what you hoped for. It reflects the truth. And sometimes that truth is ugly. You say you want discipline, but your habits say otherwise. You say you want greatness, but your effort says comfort. You say you're different, but your actions scream average. Stop trying to argue with reality. Own it, face it, and then fix it. You keep pushing things down, ignoring the truth, hiding from the grind, running from the work. But here's the deal. Whatever you avoid eventually becomes who you are. Avoid discomfort long enough and you become weak. Avoid failure long enough and you become paralyzed. Avoid responsibility long enough and you become a victim of your own life. Every time you skip the hard stuff, you're shaping a version of yourself that can't be trusted in pressure. Pain is not the enemy. Avoiding it is. Pain builds you, shapes you, strengthens you if you let it in. You want power. Take responsibility for everything. The wins and the losses, the mistakes and the lessons, the good days and the lazy ones. Stop blaming traffic, your parents, your boss, the weather, the algorithm, your ex, your mood. That's weak, that's soft, that's how you stay stuck. Own the fact that you procrastinated. Own the fact that you gave up halfway. Own the fact that you're not where you want to be because of the choices you made. And when you do that, something powerful happens. The excuses lose their grip. The lies fall apart. And you're left with the truth. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be honest. Most people run from the truth because it stings. But what they don't realize is that truth is the key to their freedom. Just when you admit that it's your fault, you take back control. When you say this is on me, you stop being a victim and start becoming the damn architect of your life. The truth hurts, yes, but it also heals. It also frees you from years of self-deception and stagnation. It gives you clarity. It gives you power. So face the mirror, not just once. Every day, ask yourself, am I proud of who I'm becoming? Am I walking the talk? Am I earning the future I claim to want? If the answer is no, good, now do something about it. The reflection doesn't lie, and neither should you. Let's stop pretending the grind is glamorous. It's not. The grind is lonely, it's uncomfortable, it's waking up before the world, pushing through pain, and getting no praise for it. It's doing the reps when your body aches, reading the pages when your eyes are heavy, showing up when every part of you wants to quit. You don't see it in highlight reel. You don't post it on Instagram. There's nothing flashy about discipline. But let me tell you something. It's the most powerful thing you can own because the grind doesn't lie. The grind doesn't fake it. And the grind doesn't give you anything you haven't earned. That's what makes it real. That's what makes it beautiful. You want to live like few ever will. Then you have to work like few ever do. There's no shortcut, no cheat code, no motivational quote is going to do the work for you. Only the grind will. Look at any champion, any leader, any trailblazer. Behind their greatness is a mountain of hours no one saw, sweat no one noticed, sacrifice no one appreciated. They paid in full and they paid in silence. Muhammad Ali said it best, "I hated every minute of training, but I said don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." That's the exchange. Pain now, glory later. You want freedom? Earn it in the grind. You want pride? Bleed for it in the dark. The grind takes your excuses and turns them into effort. It takes your doubt and turns it into confidence. But only if you show up day after day after day. There will be nights when no one texts, no one calls, no one cheers. Nights when the world feels silent and your thoughts get loud. That's when you meet the real you. That's when the excuses start screaming and the temptation to quit feels overwhelming. But if you stay the course, if you don't fold in the silence, you come out stronger. Think about it. A diamond isn't made in comfort, it's made under pressure, alone, in darkness. The same is true for your greatness. Your strength isn't forged when everything is easy. It's born in the quiet, brutal hours when you kept grinding, even when no one saw and no one cared. Every time you step into discomfort, you train your mind to. Every time you avoid it, you train your mind to quit. It's that simple. Discomfort isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's your body and mind getting stronger through the fire. You want discipline? Go toward the resistance. Go toward the struggle. That's where your transformation lives. Comfort feels good, but it builds nothing. Discomfort feels awful, but it builds everything. You don't grow by repeating what's easy. You grow by mastering what's hard. The sore muscles, the late nights, the self-doubt, the early mornings, the tears, the rejections, the setback. That's the ugly part. That's the part no one wants. But keep going, because on the other side is something beautiful. Strength, peace, pride, a version of you you've never met. One who doesn't make excuses, one who stands tall, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. You're planting seeds in the mud right now, but if you keep watering them with discipline and effort, one day you'll wake up and see something grow, and when it does, you'll know it was worth every second in the dark. Life isn't fair. You might have more problems, more pain, more pressure than the person next to you, and still, when it's time to count the score, the world doesn't ask, "Were you tired?" It asks, "Did you show up?" It doesn't ask, "Was your past hard?" It asks, "What did you do with it?" The scoreboard only records results. It doesn't care how many times you almost tried. It doesn't care how many good intentions you had. It cares about what you executed, what you built, what you finished. Struggles are real, yes, but they don't write your legacy, your actions. And if you want to change your life, stop explaining your situation and start transforming your results. Let me ask you something. When you go to a restaurant, do you care how hard the chef tried to cook your meal? No, you care if the food is good. That's because effort without outcome is just a story. You can try to get in shape, you can try to build a business, you can try to change your mindset, but none of that matters unless something actually happens. The world respects outcomes. That's how opportunity works. That's how trust is built. No one hires, follows, or funds potential. They reward performance. So if you're serious about growth, stop falling in love with trying. Start falling in love with producing. Start finishing. Start delivering. This might sting, but it needs to be. You can't keep talking about your goals and doing nothing about them. You can't post quotes and then hit snooze. You can't keep saying this is my year and keep doing last year's work ethic. There comes a point where words don't matter anymore. Only action counts. You either show up or shut up. You either put in the work or get out of the way. The people who win, they don't just talk big, they move big. They show up on the days it sucks. They show up when no one's clapped. They show up because they know that results don't come to the loud, they come to the relentless. Everybody has problems, everybody has a story, but if your story ends in excuses, nobody listens. The world is full of people who stopped at why it didn't work. The ones who, they rewrote the ending. They had cancer and still ran. They had debt and still built. They had trauma and still wrote. Because your obstacle might be real, but your outcome can be stronger if you're willing to stop bowing to your limitations and start beating them down, one action at a time. Let your results speak so loudly that your obstacles don't even get mentioned. Every decision you make is being recorded, not by a camera, not by an audience, but by life itself. Your habits are stacking, your choices are adding up, and one day soon, you will wake up to the results of what you've been doing in private. And here's the truth, you can't cheat the grind. You can lie to others, you can even lie to yourself, but you cannot lie to results. You didn't get stronger, the reps show it. You didn't get wiser, the time you wasted proves it. You didn't get closer, the mirror doesn't lie.
So work like the scoreboard is on, because life is keeping score, not based on effort, but execution. And at the end of the day, your outcomes will either become your evidence or your excuses. You choose which one. You've heard the truth. No fluff, no filters, just raw, uncut reality. You've been told that no one is coming to save you, that your feelings don't matter, that excuses won't carry you, that comfort will crush you. So now what's your excuse? What story are you still clinging to? What lie are you still feeding? What's the next reason you'll give for not moving, not changing, not chasing the life you keep dreaming about? Because after everything we've covered, excuses just won't hold up. Not anymore. Not after this. Time is not waiting for you. It never. While you're hesitating, someone else is executing. While you're binge watching, someone else is building. While you're caught in your head, someone else is moving their feet. The clock doesn't care that you're afraid. The clock doesn't care that you're unsure. The clock is ruthless, and it's moving. Whether you move with it or not is your choice. Every second you spend sitting in doubt is a second you could spend building your future. You don't need more motivation. You need motion. Forward. Now. This is the fork in the road. Choose. Right now you're standing at a fork. Two roads stretch out before you. One is easy. It's familiar. It's filled with comfort, distractions, mediocrity. That road leads to regret. It leads to questions you'll never be able to answer. It leads to the slow death of potential. The other road, it's steep, it's dark, it's lonely. It will demand everything from you. Your time, your energy, your pain, but it will also give you everything in return. Purpose, power, pride, freedom. You don't get to walk both. You choose, right here, right now. You walk the path of the weak, or you build the path of the warrior. Which one is it going to be? If you're tired of losing, stand up. If you're tired of being average, get obsessed. If you're tired of feeling stuck, get ruthless with your habits, your thoughts, Stop asking for motivation. Become the fire. Stop looking for the right time. Be the reason time moves. Stop talking about what you want and start fighting for it like your life depends on it. Because it does. You don't need a new plan. You need a new level of intensity. You don't need perfect conditions. You need unshakable commitment. You don't need to feel ready. You need to be willing to bleed, to sweat, to break, and to rise. That's it. That's the code. That's the answer. Not later. Not once things calm down. Not when you feel motivated again. Now, work like your future depends on it. Because it does. Work like your family is counting on it. Because they are. Work like you're running out of time. Because you are. This is your moment. And no, it won't come again. So stop negotiating with laziness. Stop entertaining distraction. Stop believing the lies that tell you you've got more time, more chances, more lifelines. You've got one shot, one life, one legacy. And the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is how hard you're willing to work for it. So let the world hear you. Let your excuses bury themselves in your footsteps. Let your grind speak louder than your voice. And remember these words, not as a suggestion, but as your commandment. Work fucking hard.